Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rochelle and this is Brampton Gardener, and today we are out in the greenhouse and I'm going to be talking about the 5 things I will always grow and the 5 things I will never grow. This is the 5 things hashtag. I will link that down in the description below. It is from Danny, the Wicked Awesome Gardener, and there are quite a few people that have joined in on this challenge. So make sure you go and check out all of the other videos in the series. And I'm going to start off with the 5 things that I will always grow in my garden. And first off, no surprise, it's going to be tomatoes. And this thing is supposed to be a dwarf tomato. And it's huge. This is a golden balcony. Oh my goodness, huge tomatoes. So tomatoes are the first thing. I will always grow tomatoes in my garden. Regular tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. I love being able to just go out in the backyard and grab them for like tomato sandwiches and salads, and they taste so much better than store-bought tomatoes. Second thing I'll always grow, peppers. Same thing. I love having fresh peppers out in the backyard. I can just go out and get them whenever I want. I grow all variety of spice levels. I grow a lot of sweet peppers and kind of medium range peppers like jalapenos. And then I like to throw in a few super spicy ones as well. Last summer I made a few different dishes with them. I did some roasted peppers, I did some dehydrated peppers, and I mixed them in with some salt. The Scotch bonnet, absolutely delicious. The third thing I will always grow in my garden, and that is herbs. All kinds of herbs. This year I'm planting, I think, 4 different kinds of basil. I have cilantro, I'm going to be growing parsley, dill, probably get some tarragon and thyme and oregano. I don't know, all the herbs. Love growing them. Love how it just enhances every meal that you make. And herbs, when you buy them at the store, they go bad so fast. So to be able to just go out and pick them fresh whenever is amazing. Number 4 on my list is going to be, same idea, lettuce and salad greens. So any kind of lettuce, or I have like romaine, tom thumb, mustard greens, kale, spinach, anything like that that I can just go out in the backyard and grab for a quick salad is always going to be growing in my garden. And last but not least, the plant I started last year and I fell in love with and declared it 2021's favorite plant to grow, garden huckleberries. I loved these things last year. They grew so quickly and so prolifically and so easy, and I had such a great harvest on them. We made jam, we made a crisp, we made salsa, like, oh, and syrup. Loved the syrup. It was really good with just some sparkling water and, not gonna lie, some gin. All right, so now the 5 things I'm never gonna grow again in my garden, and the first one up is going to be corn. And you're probably wondering why on earth I ever even tried to grow corn in my very small townhouse backyard. And the reason is because I was at the store and they had a 4-pack of corn for $1.50. And I thought, why not? So I planted it and it grew fast, it grew strong. I could see all these cobs starting to form. It was very exciting. And it looked like I had pretty decent germination rate on them. They were filling out, they were getting nice and full. And then some raccoons came and not only stole all the cobs, but completely destroyed the corn. I couldn't even use it as decorative corn anymore. They just destroyed it, and I realized at that time, no, I am not in the right position to be growing corn on the cob. So, corn is out. Second, and Danny had this on her list as well, and that is going to be the spoon tomatoes. Oh my gosh. These were the bane of my existence last year. They grow so incredibly prolifically. It was constantly taking over the space I had put it in. I had given it 2 tomato cages for the 2 little tiny plants that I'd started, not realizing that they would become monsters and take over the whole garden bed. They are a pain in the butt to harvest. They're so tiny, they take forever, and when you put them in the container, at the end when you bring them inside, the whole bottom half has been smushed or squished. They were only good for snacking in the garden or taking inside and roasting them and making like a tomato confit. I did do that and they were delicious. The tomatoes are delicious and they're very cute. And I know some people grow them to put into bouquets, which I tried doing once, and it drove Gizmo insane having the smell of the fresh tomatoes in the house. He couldn't handle it because he loves tomatoes so much. That was a no-go for me. Never going to grow them again, and I'm afraid that I'm going to have a ton of little seedlings out there that I'm going to have to be pricking out all spring and all summer long. Oh well. Number 3 on my list, and It's kind of, okay, I will never plant this again. I will never purposely grow this again in my garden, but I'm probably always gonna grow this in my garden. Mint. So yeah, I made the mint mistake probably 16, 17 years ago. And every year I dig out as much as I can. I love mint and I love using it in food, but it can just take over if you're not careful. So every spring I dig up as much as I can and I put it into a pot, and that is the mint that I use for the season, and anything else that comes up, I rip it out and try to get it out. So I'm trying to keep it manageable, and yeah, so I'm never going to be planting mint again, but it's probably always going to be here. The fourth item that I'm never going to grow in my garden again, and that is going to be any full-size squash or melons. So melons, we just do not have a long enough season here to get really ripe, juicy watermelons or anything like that. It's just not possible. And for pumpkins, I just don't have the space. I do not have the room to grow a full-size pumpkin here. And I'm living right on the edge of the green belt. We have pumpkin fields all around us. I can get all kinds of pumpkins and squash very cheaply in the fall. And so it's just not worth it for me to take up the garden space that it requires to grow a nice full-size pumpkin. I do plan on growing some, hopefully this year, some patty pan squash. And in the past, I did grow the little tiny white pumpkins, and they were adorable, and they did really, really well. And the final thing on my list is not a vegetable, but I went back and checked, and she just says 5 things you wouldn't grow in your garden. She didn't say 5 vegetables. So my last thing that I never plan to grow again in my garden, but it's probably going to reseed itself for years to come, and that's going to be bachelor's buttons. Yeah, so a lot of people swear by bachelor's buttons. Oh, they're amazing, they're great cut flowers, they're easy to grow, yada yada yada. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I grew them from seed. They did okay. They're floppy. The plants are floppy in bouquets. The colors didn't really go with anything else. The size didn't go with anything else. They were just really awkward, and I didn't end up using them very often at all. And I didn't really like how they looked in the garden. And yeah, so that's a no for me. Yeah. So there is my list of 5 things I will always grow and 5 things I will never grow. Comment down below if you have any of the same ones on your list, and make sure you check out the description, the link in the description box, the hashtag there, to take you to see everyone else's lists of things they will and will not grow. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click the notification bell, because I have lots of new videos coming out, including this greenhouse tour.